Courageous Connor, based on Cautious Connor and The Best Engine Ever by Andrew Brenner, adapted by the Sudrian Dragon. Caitlin performed well in Connor's place. She did such a good job that the Fat Controller asked the Western Region Controller if he could extend both her and Connor's stay on Sodor. "I understand Caitlin, but why Connor?" asked the Western Region Controller. "After what happened to him, I don't think the passengers will trust him." "Connor may have been careless, but he has good intentions," said the Fat Controller. "I believe every engine deserves a second chance. I'm sure Connor will find a way to prove himself during the trials." The Western Region Controller pondered. "Very well, Topham, but if anything happens to Connor, please let me know." The Fat Controller nodded as the Western Region Controller went to his hotel. At the works, Connor had just had his wheels and coupling rod replaced, but he was still feeling sorry for himself. "Nothing like this has ever happened to me before," he said to Mr. Cupper, the works manager. "I've never broken down. It wouldn't have happened if I was going too fast." "I know what you mean," said Mr. Cupper. "The assembly came loose and your pin snapped. I would tell you off, but honestly, this sort of thing can happen at any speed. We're almost done with your safety checks. We'll let you know when you're ready." Just then, the Fat Controller arrived. He walked up to Connor. "I know you didn't mean to cause the accident," he said, "but just know that being safe is very important, especially when it comes to passengers." "I know, sir, and again, I apologize," said Connor. "Good, because I am willing to give you another chance," continued the Fat Controller. "Make sure you don't push yourself too hard." Connor understood, and he went to collect his train. Later that day, Caitlin was taking another express train when she saw Connor. Much to her surprise, he was coupled to a long line of trucks and was puffing very slowly. "Hello, Connor," she whistled. "This is a surprise. You normally don't take trucks." "Well, I thought I'd give my train to Henry while I take his," said Connor. "See what it's like to pull trucks." "Very well then," replied Caitlin. "I'll see you later tonight." Connor watched as Caitlin puffed away into the distance. Soon, Connor puffed up to Gordon's Hill. Because it was a strong engine, he was able to get the train up to the top of the hill with no trouble. But when he started to go down the other side, the trucks decided to have some fun. "Go faster! Go faster!" they yelled, surging against Connor's tender. "Oh, no you don't!" huffed Connor. He pinned down his brakes hard, which was enough to slow the train down before they got to the bottom. "Aw, you're no fun!" "Spoil sport," jeered the trucks. "I'm just trying to be safe," insisted Connor. "I don't want to risk breaking my coupling rod again. If you're worried about breaking it, perhaps you should go back to the works." The truck was being sarcastic, but Connor thought otherwise. "That's a good idea. Better safe than sorry." "Mr. Cupper," called Connor, "I'm trying to be very careful, but I still think there's something wrong with me." "There's nothing wrong with you, Connor," sighed Mr. Cupper. "You're a big express engine. You should be pulling express trains at speed, not taking slow goods." "I know, but I'd rather not risk it all the same." For the next few days, Connor would often take all kinds of slow trains, while Caitlin would take his trial trains. "Better safe than sorry," he would tell them. "I don't mind taking important passenger trains, but that is Connor's job," grumbled James. "I'd much rather be taking trucks." He then saw Gordon and Henry giving him strange looks. Who said that?" he said sheepishly. "James does have a point," agreed Caitlin. "Ever since his accident, Connor seems to be pulling slow trains, like the local, commuters, and even slow goods." "It's strange to see an express engine want to pull slow trains," said Gordon. "I think we should try to help Connor." James then looked to see Connor backing onto the local. "Leave that to me," he smirked. He went over to Connor. "Morning, Connor," he said. I was curious if you were up for a little challenge. Oh? What kind of challenge? Asked Connor. How about a race? Suggested James. You and me, up to the end of the line. Connor grew concerned. A race? I don't know. I might have an accident if I go too fast. I'm sorry, James, but I can't. Please? No. Pretty please? No. Pretty please with James. I said no, and that's final. The guard's whistle blew, and Connor left the station. James went back to the others. Well, I tried, he grumbled. Poor Connor, sighed Henry. I hope he gets his confidence back soon. Little did the engines realize just how soon it would be. A few days later, Caitlin reached the end of the line with another trial train. She saw Connor leaving with the slow goods. She sighed as she went to the turntable. But when she arrived, she found it difficult to stop. Oh, what's going on? She came to a halt just as her tender wheels left the table. Thankfully, she remained on the rails. What's happened to me? She wondered. Her crew went to inspect her, but nothing seemed to be wrong. We'd better have you checked over when we reach the workstation, said her driver. Hopefully, another engine can take the train on for you. Caitlin agreed as she went back to her coaches. Meanwhile, Connor was bringing some goods down to the electric engine's junction. He set down his trucks and set off down the main line. Suddenly, help! Help! Rushing towards him was Caitlin, looking frantic. Caitlin? Gasped Connor. My brakes have failed! Cried Caitlin as she and her train whizzed by. Driver, quickly! Called Connor. We have to save Caitlin! The driver agreed, and without a second thought, Connor picked up speed and hurried after Caitlin. Caitlin's crew were doing everything to stop her, but it was all hopeless. The passengers looked out the windows frightened. Then, hold on, Caitlin! I'm coming! Connor was puffing up with every ounce of steam until he was left with Caitlin. Connor! She whistled. It's okay, Caitlin, said Connor. I'm going to get in front of you to slow you down. Connor began to go faster and faster. He didn't care if his coupling rod broke. All he could think about was saving Caitlin. At last, Connor overtook Caitlin and switched onto her line. He braked gently as Caitlin slowly got closer and closer. When the engine's buffers connected, Connor applied his brakes. With a great effort, Connor managed to stop the runaway Caitlin and her train. Oh, thank you, Connor, she panted gratefully. Connor smiled as the passengers cheered. Caitlin was brought to the works by Connor, while Polley took the train. The Fat Controller and the Western Region Controller came to see them. Connor, I am very pleased with you, said the Western Region Controller. Had it not been for your quick thinking, Caitlin and the passengers could have been badly hurt, or worse. Indeed, agreed the Fat Controller. You have proven yourself to be a really useful engine. Oh, thank you, sirs, smiled Connor. Caitlin felt ashamed. Sir, I'm very sorry. My brakes failed and... There's no need to apologize, Caitlin, interrupted the Western Region Controller. The workman told me that your brake shoes were getting worn out. I believe I'm the one to blame, for I should have had you checked before allowing you to go to Sodor. Caitlin understood. Despite your incident, added the Fat Controller, I can confidently say that so far you have left a good impression on me. I will put in a good word for you when I write my reviews to the mainland regions. Connor and Caitlin were very pleased. The next day, the engines came to say goodbye to Connor and Caitlin. Come back and see us soon, everyone whistled. And you are always welcome on the Western region any time, whistled the two great Western engines. And they puffed away to a chorus of cheers and whistles. The Fat Controller smiled as he watched the two disappear into the distance. Should day, I do hope I have more Great Western engines on my railway. The Fat Controller's wish would come true, but that's a story for another day.